Hey guys, happy Samhain. So I hope you guys are having a good day. It's not going to be a really long video. I still feel pretty bad, so we're just going to go over a little bit of Samhain and what it consists of. And people think that there's a veil, and there's really no veil. There's no veil that is here. Everything that is out there is here. So we don't really have a veil. I don't know why people think the veil thins on this night. I guess it goes back to the ancient Celts and all that stuff. So, but I mean, it is pretty interesting. But I mean, so Samhain actually, it's Scottish Gaelic, and it's for a Gaelic festival marking the end of a harvest season, the beginning of a winter, or a darker half of the year in the northern hemisphere. Is held usually on November 1st, but celebrations are until from today, October 31st, for the beginning. So I mean, and then the evening of October 31st, since the Celtic day began, and ended at sunset. This is about halfway between the autumn equinox and winter solstice. So it's actually one of the 4 quarter days of the Gaelic seasonal festivals. So it's really interesting. Very powerful, a very powerful day. So it's just really to honor our ancestors, to do a bunch of journeying, and going inside of ourselves and really seeing what we need to do and what we need to work on, and inviting all the new in, and getting rid of the old, taking the broom, the besom, and sweeping away the negativity from the circle. So, and it's historically, it was obviously observed throughout Ireland, Scotland, in the Isle of Man. So a similar festival was held by the actually the Brittonic Celtic people called Colin Gareth in Wales, Colin and Gav in Cornwall. So it's believed to have Celtic pagan origins, and some Neolithic passage tombs in Ireland are aligned with the sunrise at the time of the Samhain. So it is first mentioned in the earliest, the Irish literature from the 9th century, and it's associated with important events in a lot of Irish history. So the early literature actually says that Samhain was marked by great gatherings and feasts, as was the ancient burial mounds, which were seen to be portals to the other world. And it's a beautiful thing because they are. Now, which obviously we've seen our portals, they're opened. Some of the literature also associates Samhain with bonfires and sacrifices. So, but but this festival, it was not recorded in detail until the early modern era. So it was really, really crazy. But the bonfires and everything, it's incredible. It really is. Everything's so beautiful on Samhain. The trees magically, I don't know if it's just because of the stuff with the trees, it magically turn to a pretty, they're turning colors, and they're doing their thing, and I love it. It's beautiful. But now in the 9th century, the church had shifted the date of All Saints' Day to the 1st of November, and 2nd November the 2nd of November becomes All Saints or All Souls Day. So it's believed over the time Samhain and All Saints and All Souls influenced each other and eventually kind of came together in a form of Halloween. So it's interesting. But in the 20th century, the Celtic neo-pagans and Wiccans have observed Samhain or something based on it as a religious holiday. So really the Celtic neo-pagans and the Wiccans, they don't really celebrate the original meaning of Samhain, which is pretty interesting. But I mean, I don't know, I guess. So it's pretty interesting though. I love the in Cornwall, it's just beautiful. So if you guys want, you guys can look up Cornwall. It's beautiful. So it's also Allantide, so it's Cornish. So yeah, it's a St. Alan's Day, or the Feast of St. Alan, in a Cornish festival that was traditionally celebrated on the night of the 31st of October, as well as the following day, time, and elsewhere. So the festival in Cornwall is actually the liturgical feast of St. Alan. So, and then we have the bishop who was the bishop of Quimper in the 6th century. As such, Allantide is also known as Allan Night and Allan Day, the origins of the name. Allantide also probably stem from this, where they go. It stems from the same sources as Hollantide, Wales, and Isle of Man, and Halloween Eve, but it's All Hallows Eve. So So as with the, the start of the whole celebration of, Hallowtide, in the rest of Christendom, church bells were rung in order to comfort Christian souls in the intermediate state. So, basically, purgatory. Now, and the apples were polished and given to friends of tokens of good faith and good luck. Now, the following is a description of festivals as it was celebrated in Penzance on the turn of the 19th century. Well, it's really, there's a lot. It's the ancient custom, providing children with a large avalon, All Hallows Eve is still observed to a great extent. Now at St. Ives, Allen Day, as it's called, is the day of hundreds of children. It's a celebration for hundreds of children. Who would deem it a great misfortune where they go to bed on Allen night with the time-modern Allen apple to hide beneath their pillows. So basically a quantity of large apples are thus disposed of the sale, which is dignified by a term Allen market. So we have divination games, the throwing of walnuts and fires, the fidelity of our partners, and the pouring of molten lead into cold water as a way of predicting, the occupation of future husbands. The shapes of the solidified lead somehow, indicates this. In some parts of Cornwall, Tyndall fires were lit similar to the nature to the coal Kirth of Wales. So prior to the 20th century, the parish feast of St. Just in Penwith was also known as Allantide. So it's really interesting. It's a really beautiful holiday. I love it. It makes me feel good. I'm gonna just kind of meditate and just kind of be. So just kind of be and become, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna do. So, but yeah, what are you guys doing tonight? Anything? I would love to know. I'd love to hear your guys' comments. So yeah, this is pretty interesting take on All Hallows and Samhain. So. Yes, oh my gosh, yesterday it was crazy with the I'm freaking sicker than sick yesterday, which I feel better. So yeah, watching the Dark Zone, it's still amazing. Andrea is so brave. Andrea, you're the bravest spiritual warrior I couldn't recreate or take somebody through what had happened. But it was just beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. Just seeing the family members come together, Nancy, Christine, and Cynthia, it's just amazing, and Roger, and it's just everybody's incredible. So, but all right, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be live tomorrow. I'm not sure, so but I do. I love you guys. Happy All Hallows Eve. Feed those ancestors. Give them coffee, some cigarettes, anything you want like that. Have a feast with them. Have a feast with the forgotten dead, and yeah, just remember. So I love you guys. On my heart. I'm being absorbed to the background. I love it. All the way from Venus, of course, always. All the way back down. All right, guys. Please be safe and stay healthy. And I love you guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.